It's March 17th, Friday, our third day out of St. Helena. Tired this morning, about 0800. I was awake from midnight until 0300. I'm not even sure of the sequence anymore, but I think it began with an accidental jibe. The problem with sheet to tiller is that, particularly on a very broad reach, which is what we are on, is that if the wind increases and you don't adjust the shock cords to leeward, you're going to get an accidental jibe. If it wind decreases, you don't make an adjustment, you're going to end up with the shock cords overpowering the jib and bringing you up, bringing the wind forward. Well, both happened last night. When I came up, the green line's the preventer line. I had it attached to a block to a car like that one, I think you're seeing there. And when I came up, I assumed that the shackle on the block had broken, but it hadn't. The whole car had bent, pulled off. So I moved this cleat up forward and I'm running the line through it. It's heavier. Can't do that on the other side so easily. The cleat there is used to secure the jib furling line, although maybe I could bring it up to this jam cleat here. In any event, I muscled us back on course. That means jibing back, and got things balanced out. But then after a while, I went back to sleep. But not long thereafter, the wind went light. I woke up and we were essentially stalled. The wind was on the beam, even a little forward, not strong. None of this wind's strong. I would guess now it's maybe 14, 15 knots. But it had gone down to 5 or 6. So the main was held by the preventer and the boom bang, and it was basically just feathered. So I made those adjustments, but then nothing stayed the same, and steady rather, and so I was up until 0300 trying to get the boat to steer without having the wind too far forward or too far aft. At 0300 I finally went to sleep, and I woke up one more time after that and had to make some adjustments. I got up at 0600, came up on deck and startled a large brown bird. We startled one another. They were sitting on the pulpit eaves, walked and flew off. And got things balanced out. The winds increased again with those clouds behind us with some rain in them. And I probably need to tighten something. One of the shock cords back there a little more. Also had to throw a lot of little flying fish back in the water, almost a dozen. One up there on the deck, another one over here that I still haven't gotten. Sorry about that. Knowing which way to jump is important. Other than that, we're having a good day's run, close to a 6-knot average. 6 knots for 24 hours is 144 miles noon to noon. I think unless something happens in the next few hours, we're going to have better than 140-mile day, although I may have to put a reef in the mainsail just to slow things down, happening a little quickly. I'd like to keep going. At one time, I said that this year's sailing was going to be more north than west, and from Durban, that's perhaps true. But this passage is much more west than north, as I have come to realize. 30 degrees of latitude, from difference between St. Helena and St. Lucia, but 55 degrees of longitude. I know the degree of longitude is less than a degree of latitude, except at the equator, but all of this is in the tropics, so it's still a lot more west than north. Right now, we're still moving along at 6 and 7 knots. Well, I'm up here, a cup of coffee down on the floorboards rolled and spilled, so I think I'm going to go down and make another.